high-stakes poker player Chance Kornuth is currently in a high-stakes heads-up battle against poker legend Phil Galfond. Up for grabs is a $1 million side bet and the opportunity to beat one of the greatest poker players of all time. So when I talk with Chance about doing this video, I wanted to do it because I want to talk more about who Chance is, because I don't feel like enough people out there really know his story. I feel like he's sort of under the radar. I think he's been around the high stakes scene for a very long time. He's one of the better American poker players that we have in the world when it comes to combining the game of tournaments, online tournaments, live tournaments, and also online and live cash games. I feel like Chance is one of those guys that can do both at a very high level. He's also in the coaching world with Chip Leader Coaching. So I want to explore more about who Chance is, where he came from, how did he end up here, and what is he hoping to get out of this Galfond challenge that he's doing. So Chance's story starts off like many people started off back in the early 2000s, right? 2005, 2006, 2007. Online poker was absolutely popping in America, and young guys in college all over the United States were saying, hey, is it time I drop out of college and I pursue this professionally? There were a ton of games online. It was promoted everywhere. It was on ESPN. It was perceived to be this really cool thing you could be a part of, that you could also make a living at. And Chance was going to school in Colorado. That's where he grew up at. He was going to UC Boulder studying architectural engineering. And he's like, listen, I don't like my job. I don't enjoy doing this. I'm doing well at poker. I'm building up a bankroll. So with one semester left in college, he said, no gamble, no future. I'm dropping out. I'm pursuing poker. I've got a nice bankroll built for himself. And listen, man, clearly this guy worked really hard, because he ended up taking down his first bracelet in 2010. He started getting into the whole live poker world. Before that, he was just mainly focused in the online world, playing cash games, playing tournaments. This is kind of what people were doing. So they poured their heart and soul into poker. They dedicated themselves to the game. They dedicated themselves to the community. They would come out to Vegas. They'd play live. They'd play these tournaments. They'd get grind houses. You met a lot of poker friends. And this is basically the trajectory that Chance went on until Black Friday took place, when Black Friday was something where the government came in and said, online poker's illegal. I remember for me, I was living in San Diego. I had to go up to Vancouver, and Chance had a decision to make, and he decided to continue to pursue the poker dream. So he relocated. He'd go outside the country. He'd keep playing online, come back to America, playing the live tournament scene. You know, Chance is also one of those guys, when Black Friday happened, he had a lot of his bankroll on Full Tilt and an Ultimate Bet. And if you guys know, PokerStars paid out the money to the players. Shout out to PokerStars. Full Tilt decided, we're not going to pay players out until PokerStars helped do it, rescue them years later. And Ultimate Bet really just paid out players maybe like a few years ago. And so Chance was lucky enough to get that refund from Ultimate Bet years later. He did end up getting money back from Full Tilt, but obviously after Black Friday, that was a real a pain problem for him and for a lot of other players out there who all their money was online. We're kind of irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd have $100,000. We would decide, hey, it was smart to keep $80,000 online. Like, it turns out probably wasn't a good idea to keep all your bankroll online. Note to yourself out there, players, don't keep all your money online these days. But back then, this was pretty customary. So a lot of Americans, we just thought that money was good as gold. But it turns out you might have just had to wait a bunch of years to see that gold. And that certainly made the hurdle to overcome that much more extreme and dramatic as a player around that time. So for someone to overcome that and then to be able to sustain a career for a long time shows you the kind of tenacity and the kind of ferocity and the kind of ability that a person is going to have. It says a lot about someone to me. So in addition to winning a World Series of Poker bracelet in the great game of Pot Limit Omaha in 2010, he was also able to win one in 2018, taking down one of the online events. He's been all over the world, having success at tournaments as well, including a third place at the PCA, the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure, for over $641,000. 2014, he won a Bellagio Cup for $526,000. In January 2016, he won an Aussie Millions event for over $500,000. He also took down a European Poker Tour high roller event in Monte Carlo for about $350,000. Came close to winning another bracelet in 2017, but unfortunately finished in second place. Only took home $400,000. Not bad. No bracelet, but that money's still nice. Overall, Chance has about over $7 million in tournament earnings. And of course, over that time, he was still active in the cash game world, playing online cash games, playing live cash games, living down in Florida. Now he's living out in Vegas. So the guy's been willing and able to take on these different formats against these really top players and has been able to stick around poker and thrive for a very long time now. One thing Chance is known for is this idea of the live read, meaning that he got very enamored by the physical aspect of poker when you're playing in person, when you look at a person and they're making these, you know, sort of like a big thing back in the day with Joe Navarro, Mike Carroll, these like professional tells guys who would say, he looked at his chips, he's strong, he wants to bet. This guy looked weak and he kind of shrugged his shoulders and moved in, right? That guy's strong. So he got very enamored with this, and now it's a very controversial sort of topic in that some people believe in it, some people don't believe in the tells, but Chance has always been this guy who really, really believed in the physical tells, the live tells aspect, and that's been one of the ways that kind of sets him apart from the other people when it comes to the idea of coaching or when it comes to the idea of how he might train his students or the people that he stakes or the people that he works with. Now, along the way, Chance decided to start Chip Leader Coaching. Chip Leader Coaching is aimed at tournament players in order to help them get better, but also it provides an infrastructure where he develops relationships with the players who sign up to learn, to get staked. So it's not only just coaching, but it's also a staking situation where you're able to turn that into a business in addition to the amount of money that people are paying for subscriptions or amount of money people are paying for courses on your site. So I think it's a very interesting model that he's using that we've seen other people use with their businesses where they not only make these players better, but then they get to potentially profit from those players by staking them for online tournaments, for live tournaments, or for the online cash game world. And one of the people that Chance has worked with over time has become one of the coaches along with him at Chip Leader Coaching, which is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Alex Foxen, who has risen to become one of the top tournament players in the entire world. And now you come to the Galfond Challenge. So the Galfond Challenge was something initially where Phil Galfond put out there and he said, I want to play some other training sites. I want to generate attention for my training site, for how good I am at poker, for myself, for Run It Once. And then, so Chance Kornuth, we didn't necessarily expect someone like Chance to step up to the plate and battle this guy who's considered one of the best players at Pot Limit Omaha, the great game. We didn't expect to see Chance Kornuth's name jump up there on that list. And when you take a look at the odds the guy got for the challenge, he stands to win $1 million, and Phil only put up $250,000. So 4-1 for Chance if he can take down Phil Galfond. And so far in the match up to this point, it's been a very back and forth match. I went over to Chance's place before the challenge started, spent some time with him and his beautiful wife, Emily, and just talking with the guy. I was very impressed by the preparation, by the confidence that he had coming into the match. Clearly, he'd been putting together a great strategy, learning a lot more about Heads Up Pot Limit Omaha than he maybe ever learned before. And it's been impressive to see the performance that he started off the match with and kind of giving it to Phil Galfond, both of the guys going back and forth. And you got to wonder, right, why would a guy do this where, you know, he seems to be this big underdog, and obviously the guy's had extreme confidence in himself over his entire career. You drop out a semester of college, drop out one semester left, you pursue poker, clearly that you enjoy that risk. He said he's always enjoyed taking shots, playing high stakes, so he's a guy who's comfortable in his own ability. He's a confident guy. He believes in himself. And these are things that you need to have success at poker, and especially poker at the highest levels against some of the other great players out there. And then he's got his beautiful wife, Emily, who's now pregnant. So you got to put that stress and that pressure on top of that. And it clearly shows that this guy is willing to go this extra mile in order to give himself a chance to put himself in a long-term sustainable position to support himself, support his family, to support his child, to support the people that he employs, the people that are around him. And he looks at this Galfond Challenge as that great opportunity to do that. And so far, I mean, listen, you're committing months of your life to battling another player. So hopefully it is worth it. And that's why I think this story is so great, is because this guy is putting on the line, right? He's doing something out of the ordinary. He's saying, all right, let's battle, me and you, over 30,000 hands, and let's see who the better player is. And even though people don't think that I might be able to do it, I believe in myself, and that payout at the end of the road is something that is going to be worth it for me. And as of December 18th, 2020, Chance and his beautiful wife, Emily, welcome to the world Ryan Josephine Kornuth. And from now on, Chance is going to have to deal with the stresses of being a father while playing Phil in the Galfond Challenge. So as you can see, guys, that's kind of where we stand now, right? Galfond Challenge is in the mix. The boys are battling back and forth at high stakes, live streaming the action on Twitch. We got at least $1 million plus any side bet up for grabs. If Chance can take this down, he's going to win the money at the game. He's going to win the money for the side bet. He's going to get more business for chip leader coaching. Obviously, Phil Galfond ain't going down easy. You guys know my man Phil Galfond. He's not going down easy. So you got Chance versus Phil, a high-stakes battle. We're going to be covering more of the hands-on here. We're going to be seeing, hey, can Chance really turn chip leader coaching into debatably one of the best training sites out there, right? Can he compete with the Upswing Pokers, the Run It Once, these training sites that are considered some of the top training sites? And really, it's kind of this subjective thing in some ways. You try out some sites, you learn from them. You don't try out other ones. It's hard to know. But to me, it seems like he wants to take that next level, that next step with his own brand, his own personality, his company's personality, his company's brand. And this is a very important, pivotal moment for him in that career, in the history of Chance Kornuth. So I'm locked in. I'm ready to see what happens, right? Who's going to come out successful here? Chance or Phil, right? To me, they're both going to come out successful. I think hopefully we get Chance, a more active poker ambassador in the American poker scene, along with Phil Galfond too. Always that someone always want to be able to promote and build those likable, those energetic, those exciting, those hardworking poker personalities. So I'm looking forward to see what happens, guys. Hope you guys are enjoyed this breakdown of Chance Kornuth, me talking more about who he is as a man, as a person, and enjoy.